Okay, so that definitely remember the information right now is that even though my father like for sure like with his test to like basically intimidate my and basically his friends so that like only due to like that genuine concern this is remember the religion for like the safety of the super but like I'm also putting like that integration to still not work at all and I'm the scenario that I'm just setting is certainly like slightly right after school like they would be like my and his friends would be like they're just setting off to the exercise role of mother to precisely search for like their lost friend will. It's definitely my friend and I'm considering like even right now definitely like Mike and his friends are absolutely not at all even aware of like the extreme seriousness of like, the situation that basically like those are like they wouldn't be able to contain like the curiosity of like Mike their friends will totally suddenly missing and like they would right now be in like the mode of like an adventure and like investigation and finding him out and like bring them and like bring like maybe them thinking that Will is like only playing some sort of a game or something and like so that's like my consideration that Mike and his friends will definitely be not for aware of the extreme intensity and seriousness of the physical that might have actually give affected like that would be one thing that Mike and his friend that will has actually give affected like that would be something like the seriousness of it like would be something uh, Mike and his friends won't be able to like grasp or understand until like they set off to like secretly set up will be setting up because they are probably like under the current time secretly still setting up and disobeying like Mike's father's like intimidating orders and everything and basically them totally secretly setting up and basically preparing like them precisely because like they have this like Lord of the Rings like basically game going on between them as for like that side connecting to that side role of Northwood like I'm considering them to totally have a feeling of them definitely my kind of friends already having like along with like back when before Will was affected and they might like often Northwood might be a road and like a place where they might often like go travel towards and basically will be having adventures there and all that, like be playing games in like Nocturne. They might have done that multiple times in like the past. So like they might at least because my and his friends would be having basically like an exact idea as to like where exactly the possible houses in like the place of Mudwood in which like might go to. So like I'm differing where like Will might go to. So like I'm differing Mike and his friends especially after school like checking those exact houses like that they in the past might have had, played like the Lord of the Rings games with in like those exact houses that they had played the games in like the past in like the road to like the road of Northwood like those exact places like houses like I'm was departing Mike and his friends like like that absolute step like them investigating and then totally finding out clues connecting to that will that like not even like the sheriff and like won't be able to find out. It's like the scenario that I was on the body and not looking very much and I was bring especially things like my father like the sheriff right now has intimidated uh Mike and his friends like the bring like even after finding the clues like and the bring them to definitely not have the courage to like basically reveal that they had got actual evidence, actual clues as to like where exactly, as to like maybe where exactly Will got affected or like disappeared or basically something along the lines like definitely Mike and his friends after school doing their investigation and finding out clues that the sheriff won't be able to find yet like Mike and friends taking the decision not to reveal about them finding that first clue connecting to Will basically then deciding not to reveal it to, that they have found that role to that Mike's father pressuring like scenario that I'm looking and them Mike and his friends still keeping up their for private investigation. It's definitely my perspective. And I'm also trying it will be after that their initial investigation like not good that time also trying Mike and his friends will be actually getting serious and will be kind of genuinely worried about like Will's safety and everything. Especially that it will be after their initial investigation that they will be able to like even get up like the seriousness of the situation that will have that it's not just some game that Will is playing that will that will be an affected and all that. Uh, Even though Mike and friends at that point would be worried, like they would be also like not be fearful of basically revealing the clues that or evidence that they have found connecting to Will to Mike's father because of like because of Mike's father being that sheriff and all that. So my father definitely not wanting them to do their own private investigation or anything. So them doing exactly just like the scenario that I'm going to bring after the initial investigation, Mike and friends being genuinely worried for the year them though starting to do their private investigation to and change their file very and them doing exactly that, them attempting to do exactly that, and them doing exactly that scenario where I'm going to bring another thing. Okay, so the secret house of castle fire, basically, and I'm considering that secret house to be present in the area of the road, road. It's definitely my preference. So I'm considering most likely eventually once my kind of friends start actual serious realize the seriousness of the situation and starting to get once my kind of friends will be finally realizing and starting to get worried that about the safety of their will that will has easily been affected and shut disappear. Basically at that point I'm surprised definitely specific members in the condition that was Dustin feeling genuinely guilty because of Dustin having raised Dustin coming up with the idea to raise with Will being the reason for Will being all by himself because of that race leading to Will ending up all by himself. And that was precisely the precise around the precise time when Will was abducted. Basically eventually Dustin and Persephone once told this Mike and friends won't be able to contain their curiosity connecting to uh Will's disappearance. But in an adventurous kind of they would be in an adventurous kind of mode without realizing seriousness of the situation. So I'm different. But after that initial investigation in a secret investigation, so the school out not then realizing the intensity and seriousness of the situation. Of Will's disappearance, and then about the definitely my kind of friends deciding to set up their base where they would be setting up their whole discussions and brainstorming of their next plan as to how exactly where to look next and basically their discussions and their strategies on to how and about their discussions of the idea of their investigation and where to look next for a bit and all that them only brainstorming it all basically their base while they would be collectively where Mike, Lucas, and Dustin will be doing that, and the different they might be precisely I'm different right now leaning more towards the possibility of them precisely doing that precisely in this castle bias secret house that would be where their phase would be where they would be conducting their discussions of all their findings about each of them Mike, Lucas, and Dustin would be discussing about their findings that day and everything, connecting to with parents and everything. It's definitely my concern. So and definitely think eventually definitely for castle buyers that secret house of castle buyers to have a lot of relevance with that being their official base. It's definitely my concern. And so the thing it was definitely my different generations parents sitting on those definitely for Mike to only eventually over here his father's sheriff's investigation discussions and everything through phone that while Mike's father will be contacting the department and everything basically through that those interaction I'm considering Mike's stealthily overhearing his father's interaction and through that interaction that Mike would be overhearing he would be hearing of the word alien the possibility that I'm considering maybe the sheriff eventually maybe phoning brother or something and basically eventually the whole topic of alien possibly an alien being behind the abduction and disappearance and I'm considering Mike to even hear of the concept of alien through overhearing his father's conversation. That only happening after a bunch more of the together. Definitely still second element of the generation definitely that on this very night as well, especially during 8 o'clock, my sister's meeting with her boyfriend, they will be even during that meeting, either my sister or her boyfriend as well will be definitely getting affected and will be disappearing as well, especially maybe in women. So just to the disappearance of people to continue as a series and then eventually while Mike's father will be eventually that causing eventually causing Mike's father to eventually phoning Dr. Surrender or that department and basically through their interaction Mike is totally learning of the concept of alien possibly being alien by overhearing Mike hearing of the word alien and Mike at that point suddenly realizing that basically of the possibility that it's like an alien behind all this like abductions and disappearance. So like at that point, I was like Mike basically revealing this critical information to his friends, and at that point, like them all one among them, maybe Dustin, like all of them like thinking because of from like all the information that they have gained through like watching all sorts of like alien movies, like and different them totally haven't seen scenes where like frequencies are basically tuned into like basically communicate with aliens, like such scenes they might have seen from alien movies. So like at that point, I was different one among them, one among either Mike or one among his friends, like coming up with the idea to like basically steal like the radio from like the schools to precisely try to like attempt to like tune like the frequency of like that change of the frequency of that radio to see if they can communicate with the precise abducting alien. It's like the scenario that I go through. And that way, like my kind of in like the middle of the night, waiting it like school and stealing the radio. Like the scenario that I'm going through. And maybe I'm going to bring like a mic to secretly hide the radio and protecting two buckets. Either like my kind of friends like stealing the radio and basically charging up the radio in his in Mike's room and basically stealthily then like totally setting up like the frequency in Mike's room and trying to like secretly and softly trying to like see if like they can get contact with like the alien by changing the frequency and then eventually succeeding in it and even their full contact with like the alien and all that like being done in like a low sound manner. Like that's like only one person that I'm bring, or like the other person that I'm bring. Like Mike would be totally stealthily bringing like the Mike and his friends stealthily bringing the radio to his home into like Mike's room where like the radio would be plugged in and charged. And getting they will be charging the radio there and then they will be stealthily taking the radio out of like Mike's home and basically then all like meeting up precisely at Castle Fires where like they would be precisely Mike would be precisely bringing like the chart radio to Castle Fires and there would be like the in that place like would be them would be like the place where they would be like which time like changing up the frequency and communicating with like the alien and was bring like definitely still thinking about the question and leaning to my person that the communication between like the alien to Mike and his friends will be precisely through Morse code, kind of a code-like manner is definitely Michael, rather than through human language or human speech, is like the scenario. In the scenario that I'm looking on the and Michael so maybe like the alien might totally even revealed ahead to like Mike and his friends as to like who the precise person that is going to disappear next, and basically like the alien challenging Mike and his friends to and telling Mike and his friends to if they could like save that person, and basically that as well that's like a remote kind of possibility that I'm considering. Maybe like the alien getting intrigued with like Mike and his like friend through the communication with Mike and his friend, and basically like the alien like setting up a challenge for like Mike and his friends by revealing like the precise person that it would be like the alien would be appearing next beforehand and telling Mike and his friends like they could like save that prevent that person's disappearance and all that. Such a scenario eventually happening in the future, distant future, maybe like only still a remote possibility of like such a scenario that happening. But like yeah, this is definitely my overall theory and position. So also like definitely interested in about open theory and position as well like the mysterious kid that showed up to like the restaurant one day like and the definitely would be like the another alien that escaped like the laboratory would be precisely within that person. It's definitely might have been or like it might have gained like it might have like taken over like the one of like the abducted person, and that way that kid like basically ending up into like the restaurant, or like it might have that had it might have even had like camouflaging powers like basically using the like it might have disguise itself like or transformation powers like using the like it might have disguised itself as like a human like basically the other possibility that I'm going for anyway it will be precisely that mother alien that uh uh kid that basically showed up to like the hotel is definitely my personal impression. So my personal impression as for like precisely that hotel owner like basically asking like the kid his of her name and basically precisely soon after like him seeing like the number 11 on tattooed on his arm like was referring like definitely like that would be like the precise name of like the number alien number 11. His name would be precisely number 11. Like they would be like all these aliens would be known by their names would be all referred to us by numbers is definitely mitochondrial. So like I'm specifically mitochondrial impression that like in that laboratory of energy like some by experimenting like they might have actually opened up like some sort of like an energy source like and from aliens from other dimension might have that way one of like aliens from another time from like another dimension which would be precisely like the precise number 11 alien that might have probably at that energy form open like might have been able to like infiltrate into enter into like the human world. It's definitely my personal emotion. So like this would be only like this mother alien would be only like the number 11 alien. Like under different there will be a whole lot of like different great number of aliens in that size alien dimensions. Definitely my personal emotion. And especially since like the number is like 0, 11. So different like there will be even hundreds of like aliens within like that dimension. It's definitely my personal emotion. So like that's my personal impression. So basically, my personal impression is just taking on perspective for like was precise thought alone of taking like sympathy on like the child and basically that way like him deciding to look after like the child of like the time being and I'm considering that way and then like the thought alone of sending like that the first child to school and that way precisely that child precisely eventually be ending up being like the first classmates of like Mike and his friends like they mentioned scenario that I'm different. Mike and his friends like that the other kids being aroused to that new kid in class and it should be like besides mother alien. So like then Mike and his like friends come to that kid's like rescue and basically that without realizing that that kid is like actually like the mother alien and basically then Mike and his friends like only forming friendship with like that kid that new kid is like the scenario that I'm going to predict and when it's into introduction and then I'm just separating like temporarily like with disappearance like being Mike and friends like work temporarily like only starting to like forget like Vince's disappearance through that the new friend to their gang which will be precisely this kid which will be precisely this like northern alien in the sky and all that. It's like the scenario that I'm considering. And eventually like them bonding a lot as friends, but like I'm considering it will be only like a very distant future that I'm considering for most likely Mike or like one of my friends to like basically eventually forming like suspicion towards that their new friend and basically eventually them only in the distant future realizing that this entire time that besides kid their new friend like basically that he was like the first person like the precise alien that like mother alien that they were like looking up searching for this entire time that the mother alien who's behind like his disappearance was exactly that their new friend like them realizing that by the time only like the future and by then like I'm the that kid would have totally disappeared even from school. It's definitely my personal emotion and will be totally going into hiding. It's definitely my personal emotion. So like definitely my personal impression of government, the alien like the other alien possibly having like laid eggs precisely in that laboratory of like energy like the I'm considering like it might have to do with like the I'm considering like this person of alien like and like the reason behind like the disappearance of like multiple people as well. Like basically it would all have to do with like this alien wanting to like other alien wanting to like gain that little knowledge of like that's like all the I'm considering another alien would be having like the power to like basically read all the memories of like the people which have that by the failure as in Japan. So definitely my very impression. So like to read like the memories contained in all these humans will be like the alien current plan to like to like read the memory contained within like a bunch of humans and that we will study about humans precisely because like I'm still thinking about the impression that it might have definitely be I'm leaning more towards the bottom to that like it might have been an accidental opening up of like an energy portal that might have like accidentally for like this not alien to like basically enter into like the human world get thrown into like the human world that way. It's definitely not the regular. So like this says mother alien might have absolutely no idea at all about like humans at all. It's definitely not the reinvention. So the through the disappearance like the and like the abduction the mother alien will be trying to learn more and more about humans by reading all of the memories of like the abducted individuals. And that way, like I'm considering like the mother alien might be also think that basically that there will be no hope of like it's basically for like with, the mother alien if it only think that it won't be able to like return back to its like original form, like original dimension or like world. It's definitely my preference. So like the mother alien might be like entering into like the human world, like the mother alien might be right now thinking of basically like causing human extinction and basically rule over like the entirety of like the human world. For like aliens to rule over like the entirety of the human world is certainly my personal invention, and maybe that might be how. And I'm vocifying, and that would be connected to like the press mother alien laying eggs straight away as well. It's definitely my personal invention, but like it laying eggs precisely within like that precise laboratory and vocifying to precisely after like. Uh, Precisely reading the memories of that precise scientist that it abducted and about different like precisely it might have read like the memories contained within that scientist and it might have realized that humans are like uh, curious creatures and basically like and so like the alien mother alien might have been confident that like even like the eggs that is laid in like the laboratory like humans won't be straight away destroying it but would be always studying it and the that mother alien would be well and fully aware of like the aliens being like a whole lot tougher and basically like stronger than humans that basically by the time they would be like studying like not destroying the eggs and basically studying the eggs like the eggs would be getting enough time to like hatch and basically at that point like well, the aliens that will be coming out of those eggs like would be totally unstoppable and the humans won't be able to contain it and so that the those aliens like will be like then doing their thing and doing their part in like basically causing like the intellectual extinction of like the humans and like for like the aliens to like or like the world is definitely my contribution and that will be like it's a reason for like Will's abduction as well like aliens might have been might have wanted to like study like read the memories and study about like humans in a thorough manner before like launching like eventually maybe like a large scale it might be like really might be eventually planning on launching a like large scale alien attack in like the human world to especially finally cause human extinction. That's definitely my position. But before doing so, like the alien might the mother alien like the size requirement for like the mother alien right now would be thinking would be for like it to like lay a lot of eggs and basically that way have like lot of alien counterparts as well as for it to like precisely before launching such an attack on like the human like it wanted to like study like the human thoroughly and in order to do that, it would like need to like read like the memories of like humans of all age groups. Like for that is definitely my personal favorite. So like that might be the reason for like the initial abduction being that of like the scientist, and then like the second abduction being that of like being that of Will. It's definitely my personal impression as well as what might have happened. It's definitely my personal impression. And so like I'm maybe I'm right now leaning more towards the possibility that like maybe it might be through reading like the memories of like that scientist and will that basically the after gaining that knowledge as to like what a human kind of the alien, mother alien might have only got like only a tiny bit of like knowledge as to like about like human even through like the reading the memories of that scientist as well as will just definitely like, so like then like the alien and that mother alien might have definitely had like the these aliens would definitely have like the power to like camouflage or transform or like shape shift differently into environment. So like that way, like this mother really might have shape shifted into like through the knowledge, it might have shape shifted into like making it look like a human, and that would be precisely this mysterious kid that showed up to us. It's definitely my personal impression. So like I'm also thinking this mysterious kid would be someone who might have not gotten abducted. Is definitely my personal impression. Oh, yeah, so like definitely the Korean question right now is like the hotel owner like contacting like the chefs like and the training would narrate to be like by the time precisely when like the chefs will resolve up to like the hotel and right then after the shopping precisely for the disappearance happening of like what the hotel owner as well as like the mother alien with select the scenarios that I'm personally don't like and my consideration like we want like the chef will be joining up there like the yeah with no one like the restaurant will be totally empty. That's like the scenario that I'm personally don't like and my consideration. So like a technical consideration about the friend that leaks with the contact shirts showing up to like the hotel of the restaurant and then there are like absolutely no one being present there. So like even then like I'm the sheriff's not taking it like that extremely seriously is like the scenario that I'm totally protect. And yet like I'm considering it would be precisely like once like it turns 8 that day and basically it turns night and precisely during 8 o'clock, precisely once like the sheriff daughter, like Mike's sister, like or her boyfriend, and one of them as well would be getting abducted and like during 8 o'clock and disappearing. So it could be only at that point that I'm suspecting things into like the sheriff's at considering at that point like sheriff like feeling like as like something serious, like actually serious going on, like as if like it's going to be like the series of like disappearances going to like occur, like that more disappearances are going to like happen. Like basically like the sheriff is thinking along such lines. I'm considering that only happened after probably after like the 8 o'clock on the year of like sure like the office has going. It's like the scenario that I'm considering and I think the render. And it considering it will be only from that point on that like security as well as like patrolling to see like she's tightened up in that first town area. Which is definitely like the scenario that I'm considering and I think okay, so like definitely the impression right now is definitely for like loaning to be forced to like the extremely responsible for loan. I'm considering definitely loan is being like extremely responsible person, and I'm considering the extremely responsible loan is being forced to like basically to show up into where his ex-wife home. And precisely due to like the orders from like the sheriff and all that is like the injustice scenario that I'm considering, and I'm considering only putting definitely for like an eventual questioning scene with between precisely Mike's father, like the sheriff and Lonnie, where like I'm considering Lonnie would be like acting so extremely route to like the sheriff and basically will be not at all even cooperating at all to like the questioning and all that. And then was differing totally like my father, like the sheriff is totally putting Lonnie in his place. It's definitely like the scenario that I'm differing, and that way like crushing Lonnie's ego and basically Lonnie properly at that point cooperating with like the questioning and everything. It's like the it's like an eventual scenario that I'm differing and not differing. So like my percentage impression is definitely for like an edge scenario and like Dhoni will be finally showing up to like his exploits. So like basically they are like understanding Isha Dhoni totally being like so extremely not only even remotely concerned about like Will's like disappearance, and then also like Dhoni totally acting in an extremely insensitive manner towards like his ex-wife as well as like ex-wife, and it is even in such situation with the disappearance and uncertainty connecting to like Will still can only like making fun of like Will and basically talking in a manner as he would be like making fun of Will, and then that to like seriously provoke like the ex-wife and so bring like a fight between like Will's like brother and like Lonnie, and then the thing like it will be around during maybe during that time that I'm preparing for like the sheriff's like Mike's father to like show up there and basically started questioning of like Lonnie, and then like I'm considering my father will be the precise person that I'm considering to totally put Lonnie in his place. So definitely my percentage impression. Okay, so like definitely my percentage impression right now as for like Will's dog like basically barking at while looking at precisely to a specific direction. As I on that direction it will be precisely a pause. Is definitely my percentage impression. So that towards like that dog might not only Will's dog might not only witness like that mother alien that basically like abducting Will and dragging Will towards that fort. That's definitely my consideration. And it's why like the extremely loyal dog of Will, like basically even after like a day has passed, like basically still even if while it's like the next day, like still for like will stop like still keeping on barking towards like that precise direction would be precisely about the bringing would be precisely because of that is definitely my concern. Precisely will stop might be like through like looking at that direction and barking. Maybe like will stop might be even trying to like let Will's family know that basically that's the direction where like Will has been like has been like affected to and taken towards. It's definitely also my consider impression. So like my vegetarian version that like it might be completely after like the mother alien abducting Will and then like dragging Will to that forest, and basically after reading like the memories of Will, like the mother alien might have already felt that it might be like the best approach or like the best idea to precisely transform into like um, a child of like especially around Will's age. to take that shape shifting form instead of like a drone of might be what like some other really might have thought. And then considering it might have been like even like that perfect kid that showed up to one day to like the restaurant, even a thing like basically had showed up from like a forest, and considering it would be that exact forest to which like will might have been affected towards it's definitely and taken towards definitely my brain. It might have been precisely from her reading memory and like the mother really might have changed it and like that way like that kid might have shown from that exact forest. And like I'm considering it to be like a huge forest like from that exact forest like that day like that alien shape shifting into that bit and basically that kid showing up from that forest. Like all this might have happened in such a man definitely not this way. So like I'm considering maybe like right now for like the sheriff to like basically throw the dog barking towards that direction which I'm considering definitely for together. So like the sheriff like totally deciding to like check that force out, and I'm going to bring there. I'm going to bring like the sheriff probably finding even more clues, and I'm going to bring like maybe the sheriff finding footprints, and like those would be like footprints of will initially that the sheriff would be finding within that force. Those are definitely my positive of them. Going to bring like the force to the like a lot of like muddy like area present in that forest, and they are like anticipating the sheriff like not only finding like Will's footprint. It's definitely my consideration, and I'm considering like the and I'm considering like the sheriff totally following those footprints and like reaching a point where like Will's footprint would be like disappearing, and I'm considering from there like a totally different set of footprint, which would be get like the footprint of a child around Will's age, but like would be like a different footprint. That would be like the footprint of a girl. Instead, it's like that like would be what like precisely like the sheriff would be noticing. That like basically from that point like would be leading out of like the forest in like a different direction, and those footprints would be ending to like the first point where those footprints would be precisely ending out of like the forest would be like precisely the building that would be in that area where that footprint would be like ending out of like the forest would be like that precise building would be that precise restaurant, that hotel to which like that precise mysterious girl had basically showed up, which could be like that mother alien. Is definitely my consideration. And at that point, would be when like above the like the chef maybe decided to like check like that precise hotel or restaurant, and there like when under the different bill shows up to that restaurant, and to bring like the already like a bunch of other chefs being or police being present in that said restaurant building around that restaurant building, and like so like the sheriff totally asking them as to like what happened, and them basically revealing that basically about like the spot from like the spot owner about this mysterious child, and basically while they all showed up to check it out, like basically both of them having disappeared. Like basically that way, like the sheriff, like Mike's father, like being like the first to like make that connection to like there being a connection between all this disappearance. This is like the eventual scenario that I'm just delivering and we're doing. Okay, so like the limited medium version right now has got like squelching sound within that out of shed where like Bill had disappeared, and was looking right now like the sheriff, what the sheriff would be discovering after like moving like the messed up things on the floor, like basically what I'm discovering right now is what like the sheriff to discover from that precise place where like that squelching sound is like being emitted, and considering it to be precisely due to like another egg, maybe another single egg or like another set of eggs, like precisely most likely having laid by that precise mother alien precisely within that outdoor shed has been definitely my considering return. That's like the scenario that ended up becoming like the sheriff totally discovering that, and basically from that point, like the investigation of like the sheriff totally instantly turning from like a usual kind of like investigations of like an abduction to like something that's even more like scientific and basically like beyond like normal human perception and all that, like basically, and that would be like the point when like the whole like Dr. Brennan and like the laboratory would be getting involved, would be forced to like, get involved with like the sheriff's investigation. Is like the scenario that I'm talking about everything and my doesn't especially because of like with the discovery and those the bring for like once like the sheriff would be discovering those like strange mysterious kind of eggs. Like at that point itself, like I'm considering like the with like this strange laboratory like being like nearby definitely would be present right nearby to the will home would be. So like definitely straight away like the considering the sheriff to totally make connections to that precise laboratory and basically to totally do his like investigation right there in that laboratory. And that would be how like basically and like basically the sheriff and like the investigation all will be like meeting up, and the sheriff will be starting to question like the planet and like the experiment being like conducted there in that laboratory of like involving energy, like the scenario that I'm looking at my talking to and also like correction because like I said like I repeatedly said like my father is like the sheriff, but in actually like the sheriff I think like doesn't have white and kid. So like and my father is like a different person. So like the sheriff is like not related to Mike. So yeah, I got that wrong. So like that's like the correct one. Okay, so like the name of the game person right now and for like the sheriff not continuing looking into like that squelching sound solely because of getting interrupted like the church totally deciding to like form a huge party with like flashlight. So like just like talking about flashlight, like and considering church totally deciding that even though church feels that might be something serious, like still church might have only delayed like the straight away search and looking into that sweltering sound into like basically getting a huge search party and looking in that area around the church during like night time. So like the time would be like so like the sheriff waiting until night time would be preferably because the sheriff feeling something serious, and so the sheriff feeling like the need to have like a huge search party and not sheriff like searching by himself. Like my personal impression, but like that I'm considering that decision of the sheriff unconsidering would be a decision that the sheriff unconsidering would be regretting precisely during once it's like night time and the sheriff would be starting with like huge search party around that area. So definitely my husband, especially because like my husband, that I'm thinking on to definitely that like that switching sound might have been definitely been like the sound of like aided X. Definitely my husband. So like solely due to like the sheriff delaying like the straight away search, checking out of like the switching sound into like this huge search party search during night time, like I'm considering that time gap itself giving like more than enough time for like the aliens within that egg to be able to like hatch and escape. It's like the scenario that I'm considering. So like eventually during that whole search party, I'm considering the sheriff like discovering that precise like that location like I'm considering the sheriff probably discovering hash alien egg. That's definitely my concentration. At that point, like the sheriff totally regretting not like looking in straight away looking into that skeleton sound solely due to getting infected by one of like the sheriff. It's definitely the scenario that I'm considering. And since like it would be like and I'm considering since it would be like even though I'm considering that the sheriff neither neither sheriff or his fear like basically being able to like recognize or like realize what it that egg is like basically they might only be able to like tell that it's like some sort of like a strange egg that like they have never seen like such kind of like strange egg. So like I'm referring with like that and with like that information and basically with like the information about this like laboratory involving energy and all that like nearby being a laboratory even where like experiments would be conducted like being nearby and with like the discovery of this like strange egg like hash like it's like the eventual scenario that I'm referring. So like the sheriff coming to the conclusion to like basically check out that exact laboratory is like the scenario that I'm developing and my own range and like that way like Pranet like whom might have been definitely sender time might have been trying to like definitely desperately trying to hide the even while knowing of like the information of like the alien the extremely dangerous another alien like escaping from like the laboratory into like the real world like basically uh, even while knowing that information like Pranet like and his like remaining scientist like deciding to like keep that a secret from like from the public would be certainly because of like them not wanting them selfishly not wanting to like get into any trouble. If like the sheriff finds out about so like and then his team might be trying in their own private way to like certainly find and capture that mother alien. Uh, like it's definitely my personal rendition, but like I'm considering them to totally fail. That attempt of theirs totally failing with like right now itself I'm considering during like the nighttime search party, like the sheriff discovering the hatchback, and the sheriff totally that way approaching like that science lab or trying questioning trying to attend that way, like the truth coming out that way. Like the scenario that I was different sheriff as well as his like team like totally shockingly finding out that basically like the situation is like the actual reality of the situation that is like an alien is like totally on loose like and basically causing is like the thing behind like the multiple disappearance and everything like basically that way like Sharp went through just through like realizing the gravity of like, the situation that like even more disappearance is like very highly likely possible unless and until they catch up that mother alien as soon as possible. Like basically like that whole realization happening at that point is like the scenario that I was developing and everything. And from that point on, I was delivering like perfect sure like often spawning Dr. Planet and because like they would have both have no other option but like cooperate with each other like even though like the shark would be planning on punishing like Planet and like the remaining scientists later like currently right now like the highest priority would be capturing like that mother alien. So like I'm delivering a lot of communication and phone calls between like the sheriff and between like the sheriff and Pranat, and I'm preparing for like I'm preparing like the kids like doing their own private investigation, and that's part of like the secret and stealthy private investigation. I'm preparing my campus friends like being totally extremely worried for like Will with like Will's disappearance and all that. Like I'm preparing like Mike and his like group of friends like deciding to like stealthily trying to like spy on like the sheriff at the sheriff phone. So like that would be when like they would be all hearing like the phone call between like the sheriff and Brian and or like Brian might show up to like the sheriff home and like it would be their private conversation that like the kids would be like overhearing, steadily spying and overhearing, and at that point like the kids suddenly finding out that it's like alien abduction is like what's going on right now and basically just like the eventual scenario that I'm looking right now and looking at the rainbows. Okay, so like definitely I'm specific to my intention that like Mike's mom's like outsource like position is simply not going to work with the name of the whatever. So Mike was is still going to like sneak out of home and basically meet up with like Steve in like the middle of the night of like the scenario that I was looking and that will be when I'm considering either that was specifically what to my personal impression that like especially at the age of like them meeting at that precise internet location and like they're exactly emphasizing either Steve or like Michael stuff definitely getting affected by like the alien. It's like the scenario that I'm definitely missing out on the person remember. Okay, so like definitely my personal impression right now I saw like a short class like when things are like every day and showing up to like search market would be precisely would be due to like that would be how much like as a teacher like basically short class would be like totally valuing like the student will and especially with like in making the reveal that like will had like such was like such not just a good student but was like such a great student like will might have definitely been having such an extremely high IQ and this is one main reason for like spot class teacher like only seeing Will as like an asset and to like spot class might be like as a teacher like spot class might have even totally had high hopes for like and expectations for Will that basically Will would like even like spread the word of like make like even like the Hawkins middle schools even popped up across like maybe even like the word due to like Will having such high IQ and high potential. It's definitely my percentage impression. So like Will possibly definitely having such a high IQ and high potential. It's definitely my percentage impression, and this would definitely have like this factor would definitely has a lot of importance. So definitely my percentage impression because like the such alien, like the mother alien, will precisely be able to like sense individual with like exceptionally high IQ. It's definitely my percentage impression, and hence why like I'm different. Maybe even like the precise people that like the alien will be even targeting and the people that would be getting affected more and more like would be precisely those exact individuals with like exceptionally high IQ. It's definitely my personal preference. So like the first abduction being like according to my personal rate of the abduction being that of like laboratory scientists in like the laboratory, and the second abduction being that of Will. Right now, my personal impression is that like the third abduction will be most likely definitely be that of like Mike's sister who has who scores like extremely high marks uh, for all the exams and everything like basically since that's like already revealed like under the brain maybe like my sister as well might have like such high IQ and like under the brain like while especially during age of while my sister would be like meeting up with like Steve. Like at that point, it's like the alien would be present around that area, and the alien would be precisely able to like sense that high IQ individual in like Mike's system, and I'm also trying like to like the alien precisely targeting and precisely abducting like Mike's sister. It's like definitely my positive impression right now. It would be precisely Mike's sister and not Steve. That would be precisely getting abducted during this like exact night precisely during 8 o'clock was definitely my positive. And then specifically to my positive impression that like since like the this like the mother alien even showed up into like my according to my production like it essentially might have definitely showed up through some energy experiment through some energy portal. I'm not different like energy would have like a lot of connections to like this precise alien like mother aliens like powers and everything especially my in the powers would be higher during 8 o'clock precisely as my positive understand to do precisely due to like its energies as well or like it being able to like bring out or use its energy or like access like all sorts of energy, its energy powers being like the highest precisely during 8 o'clock. And hence why like the unbelievable like the all the abductions that will be even to like the future will be precisely taking place precisely during 8 o'clock. This is also like need a positive reaction. Also like my secondary ambition that I'm still thinking on to step into that for with like alien creatures to be able to like use their disappearance and abduction powers like I'm delivering the that necessity not for them to use that process power like an energy source would be definitely required. So like I'm going to bring in like a human must definitely be present around like an energy source exactly like how Mike was like exactly like how will disappear uh took place like in like the presence of like a light bulb and looking for like in like the similar manner some sort of like an empathy source person would be absolutely necessary for like the alien to take advantage of like that energy present in that energy source to be able to like use its like disappearance or like a passion power to definitely my also my personal impression that I'm still thinking about the also, like the cleanliness is very important right now, as well like the sheriff making the review that like his daughter Sarah as well, like basically understanding all the complex science stuff and everything. So like I'm referring definitely the sheriff's daughter Sarah as well, definitely eventually would be definitely getting contacted by this precise aliens. It's definitely my personal impression, and the different it could definitely happen. Definitely Sarah will definitely so will be having high IQ and hence would be precisely getting eventually getting targeted by this precise aliens and hence eventually will be getting going disappearing and like getting up that getting affected by these precise aliens and then differing it to precisely happen only in like the distant future, not in like the near, but like I'm delivering only happening in like the distant future. Even and I'm delivering even though currently like the aliens, the precise mother alien is in like this town like area right now. And while Sarah and like the wife of like the sheriff was like actually in like the city, I'm delivering still like I'm delivering either Sarah by herself or like maybe like or like I'm very most likely is like Sarah might be like extremely young, maybe around like the age of like Vince, around the age of like Mike sister. So like I'm considering maybe like Sarah along with her mother like basically casually paying a visit eventually in like the future like then one day like casually paying a visit to precisely uh, to like the sheriff and basically to be precisely during them that then was referring like and was declaring like Sarah would be getting abducted by this surprise alien. It's definitely like the scenario that I was referring. So like at that point I was referring like the sheriff probably being in that absolute shock. And at that point I was referring maybe for to be like the sheriff alone to be like the first person to be able to like figure out that according to my theory that basically the that like the surprise alien creatures are precisely targeting individuals with that high IQ. It's basically like was wondering maybe that to be like something that like sheriff fell down to be like the first person to figure out, and that was wondering to be only under like the scenario that like the sheriff doesn't like get any sort of information out of the Bryant with like the other scenario. It's like Dr. Bryant or like it's like a sheriff from the interaction with like Dr. Bryant events that like Dr. Bryant actually something still like still keeping like the information about like the laboratory having connection to like the alien appearance like and abduction and everything. Still if like Dr. Bryant somehow managed to like keep that a secret like or like it keeps that like from revealing that to like the sheriff, then the bring it will be only under such circumstance that about the bring it or to be like the sheriff alone. And about the bring maybe like Pranet will be like probably having like would be like Brian and his team would be like maybe powerful people that can support, maybe like that will be having like maybe like Fisher might and his team might not be able to like taken for the thing so easily. So like maybe because of that, like Fisher being forced to like basically do this investigation on his own without being able to like extract information from like Brian and his scientist teams. So like if that if it's only under such circumstances, then I'm considering maybe that way. Maybe it being like eventually through like the abduction of Sarah, like pressure is part of that, like pressure already figuring out that part of the puzzle that basically and being able to make the connection and figure out that part of the puzzle that basically this like aliens are precisely targeting individuals with like high IQ. And those who are the precise each and every time those who are like the precise individuals that are getting abducted. Basically, the sheriff figuring that out by himself eventually in like the missing future. It's like also like another possible scenario that totally thought it again to the impression. Okay, so like definitely my to the impression right now is that like basically the sheriff's part of Sarah's but like I'm going to bring it would definitely have to have connection to like the alien. It's definitely my position to impression. So like I'm just bring like it will definitely have connection to not just the aliens but like to like the experiments being performed in that precise laboratory which might have totally caused like it might have been going on for a while and then the last time they like before like the current like energy experience might have totally opened up the portal and they might have brought like the number 11 alien into like the laboratory for different like the last time the planet and like the people behind like the uh and it's like time stream like was bring them having been doing this like working on this experiment for a while and was bring maybe it might have been like in like the past when they had done this like very same kind of like, similar experiment like on the different maybe it might be during then that was different even then like the another alien by a different number like might have totally sort of to the laboratory and might have totally escaped in like a similar manner. And it might be during that time that ambassador that alien might have totally like acted out in like a different manner compared to like the number level 11 alien. And that alien might have been like might have been precisely when that alien might have escaped in like the past that from like the laboratory that alien might have taken the life of like Sarah, like son of like the sheriff. It's definitely my personal reaction. So like numbers reporting like the sheriff after like yeah like even after like finding the body like and reporting like the sheriff might have not been able to like connect that to find any mystery in like the death of Zara and reporting like the sheriff might have thought that it was like attacked by some animal from like the fox or something might have been how like the sheriff might have thought and then reporting that might be how like the investigation might have been closed concerning Sarah. So, that was definitely my percentage impression. So, but like in actuality, my percentage impression that might have been like the cause of Sarah's death might have been like due to like another alien. Was definitely my percentage impression. But like I'm considering for an event, Spain might have stealthily might have succeeded back then in capturing that precise alien and basically that way like I'm considering that would be the precise reason for like planet and teams like perhaps most likely having even right now with like the number 11 alien escaping the laboratory like the planet might even back then planet might be behind like the captivity of that alien in like the past that might have escaped so like even right now like the reason there might be that absolute overconfidence in that planet that even this time like planet would and his team would be able to like especially like last time would be able to like capture like even like the number 11 alien as well. So definitely my personal reaction, but like I'm considering like the number 11 alien to be a whole lot smarter, a whole lot intelligent and way more tricky than like the alien that escaped in like the past. So like I'm considering him to run it like attempt Trent and his crew and his teams like scientific teams like attempt to like capture like the number 11 alien to totally not work out and backfire and basically I'm considering like definitely front and team failing and I'm considering like and so like my there are predictions that like eventually like the very distant future like the capturing of the precise mother alien like I'm considering all the other remaining aliens that will be like even hatching out from like the egg like multiple eggs that like the mother aliens would be like laying all throughout that area. I'm preparing to eventually a lot of them to hatch out and spread out and I'm still prepping like eventually like all of them either like getting exterminated or like basically getting captured and basically eventually I'm delivering, but still finally like the mother alien alone will be like still remaining uncaptured, and because like the mother alien will be that much extremely intelligent, superiorly intelligent, and superiorly definitely considering it. So like I'm delivering eventually is taking like the combined effort of like basically like the kids, like Mike and his friends, as well as like the sheriff and his team, as well as like Brennan and like the his scientist team, like taking finally taking like the collective combined effort of all of them to work precisely for them to be able to like catch up the precise like alien main mother alien is like pivotal scenario that you're living and then maybe like by then like even years might pass and basically maybe like even Mike and his like friends might even grow up by then. So like I'm referring them to be able to like offering them more of like a help that way. Like it's also like a bubble scenario that I'm going to at it's also like a negative bubble scenario that I'm going to it is like the minimum implementation right now as for like the very next section and the thing it should right now take place obviously during 10 o'clock and what 8 o'clock the step level implementation and those differing with like the current situation being like Mike and Lucas like heading off to have a meeting and them definitely predicting they would be having their meeting in that their secret home castle prior is definitely my first impression. So, and also since like precisely right now, like I'm also talking like since like that social service person which basically has showed up to precisely question that precise mother alien in disguise as like that child. Like I'm referring like precisely since it's like situation and also since like the current situation is also like basically like Steve basically like I'm getting like a microphone stuff to have the meeting and all that like outside and all that like I'm referring specifically because like collectively this is like the current situation and so the thing definitely the scenario to be like Mike and right now Mike would be meeting up with like Lucas and would be having their whole discussion about like Will's disappearance in their whole secret home in Presley Castle Drive. While this will be happening, I'm just going like the Presley service will be showing up into that hotel owner's like house and basically while she would and him would be like looking for that child like I'm the friend she is only going missing. So like I'm also trying she and essentially like an alien like I'm also trying to be able to precisely sense that basically it's being tricked and about to be tried to be captured by that hotel owner. So like I'm also trying that child to totally run off from that home of like the hotel and like especially as like that child would be that in not of that like in the shape the form of like would be like in like the shape of form of like that child would be running away from that home and when that child just they're running through this precise location and they're totally running into that alien mother like the secret form of like the child like that child totally running into this precise location where like precisely like Mike's sister and uh, but my stuff and like Steve would be like totally talking and I'm the different there to be like only a street light nearby. It's definitely my personal episode. So like right then like I'm also bring that alien sensing that high IQ of like my sister and I'm also bring that alien like only still while remaining in like the picture form of like the child like showing up looking up towards like the towards right towards where like Steve and like my sister will be interacting and right then like I'm also bringing like Steve and just like my sister totally getting weirded out about like that child's going out like the middle of the night and I'm was wondering straight away like that child especially like using its powers like basically while staying in like child form like basically using its powers and basically that way instantly like that street light as well like blinking and basically straight away that way similar to how like Will had disappeared like I'm was wondering like my sister as well disappearing at that point. It's like the scenario that I'm interested. And like straight away, like I'm disappearing, like him should be like totally. And I'm wondering at that point, Steve alone should be totally seeing like this like child. And I'm wondering like it's the alien still remaining in that form of like the child. And I'm wondering, but still, Steve would be totally getting scared on seeing like basically like my sister like disappearing right in front of his eyes and that I'm wondering, still being scared and running away. It's like the scenario that I'm preparing. And precisely as my stuff would be getting like affected and going and disappearing, like at that point, Silvan was looking, he was totally screaming and shouting. So like that scream and shout, like I was preparing, most likely like Mike and Lucas would be hearing that screaming and shouting from a distance. So like I was preparing Mike as well as like Lucas totally stepping out of their secret format, deciding to like check it out, and all they would be seeing would be like uh, uh, Steve totally being extremely scared and like trying to run away. And I was bringing Mike and Lucas totally asking Steve as to like where what happened, like where my sister, like that would be Mike would be asking Steve, but like I was bringing Steve. Won't be even saying anything at all. Like Steve will be totally extremely scared that Steve will be like running away, like the scenario that I was depicting. So or like Steve would be saying that there's some sort of like scary person right there or something, and basically Steve would be straight away once again running away. So like I'm bring Mike and Lucas totally checking out in that area, but like them not finding anyone. So like the only thing that information that Mike uh, and like like Mike and Lucas being like Mike being totally worried for his sister, and I was like the only information Mike would be having at that point is that like it's like some child like that basically had showed up in that location, probably connected to like the sister and disappear, definitely my sister and so like Mike and Lucas come to the conclusion that like so even behind big disappearance as well, it would be like that child presence might have definitely been there. Along the line, Mike and Lucas would be thinking uh, some child with like superpowers would be like the place culture behind like the appearance of Bill as well as like Mike's sister would be what Mike and Lucas would be totally thinking without realizing that it's like an alien behind all this like, the scenario that I could be totally thinking. And so like I'm also bringing Mike being extremely worried, and so like Lucas deciding to like head back to his home while Mike would be run back to his home, and basically Mike would be totally straight away telling his parents uh, about his sister's like disappearance and all that. So like I'm bring my parents getting everyone getting worried and like them calling like the sheriff, and the sheriff at that point. Uh, and so like my question to impression is for like scenario in which like so that players my parents would be worriedly calling like one among like the sheriff team or like even like the sheriff and basically uh, calling him and telling about their daughters like disappearance. Like at that point, still kind of thing like the sheriff would be like at that point like the situation in which like the sheriff would be like in situation with like within that box, deep within that box, like the sheriff totally finding out something at that precise coincidentally at that precise point, and that would be either alien footprint or like not alien, but like footprints of like some creature that the sheriff has neither the sheriff nor his team has never seen before. Either that or like they really had X of like the aliens, like the other possible scenario that I'm supposed to pick that like hash X that kind hash X, but like the kind of X that neither the sheriff nor his team have never seen before. So like some sort of like a mysterious creature like being present in that town. Like basically that would be like the only kind of like information that an extremely shock sheriff team would be like gaining through their search right now in like countries like the eventual scenario that I'm delivering and my person pretty much. And right then as they will be shocked and by that seeing whatever it is that evidence that they will be finding like right then itself like then also already seeing this call of like the next disappearance being like Mike's of good stuff, like basically it's like the scenario that I don't remember bring in and so like I'm particularly like the scenario is like the next day like the sheriff would be showing up to Mike's home, and they're like I'm bringing the sheriff questioning Mike, and at that point then Mike revealing about like Steve, and basically then like the sheriff questioning Steve, and like at that point like basically Steve would be revealing about what he had seen and basically about this child, like this mysterious child. And I'm also trying from that point on, I'm also trying this for like the sheriff and their team, like the child would be like the precise seen as like that ultimate culprit, and I'm also trying pictures being wanted posters being put up all across the town for this with like the and I'm also trying a caricature of like the child would be like drawn through like the description that like Steve would be revealing about that child, what that child looked like and all that, and so like such wanted posters being spread throughout like the town. It's like the scenario that I'm also trying, and I'm also trying like the alien as well, at one point, seeing that wonder poster and like the alien with its like high IQ intelligence, like quickly figuring out that situation. And was the like the alien at that point, like deciding to like shape shift into like another form, like the scenario that I'm delivering, into like another human form, like I'm delivering like the alien shape shifting, and that way like the alien being able to like bypass like the wonder poster is like the scenario that I'm delivering another language. And also my personal impressions that even while numbers eventually positive to like describe like the culprit behind mindset was disappearance and like the serious child like at that point I was bring also like the sheriff was totally confused because of like definitely the eventual scenario where I'm bring him to totally finding some creature based like mysterious creature based evidence kind of like a hashtag most likely within that for that right now will that's now like the sheriff and his team right now through their search party is like searching for will like they will be definitely finding some sort of a creature based like a mysterious creature based evidence in that wall. So that combined with like this mysterious child detail that basically Steve would be revealing to like the sheriff eventually. I'm trying to not make initially not make any sense for like the sheriff, but then like the sheriff like being forced to like think beyond like what like the sheriff would be seeing as normal and beyond that, and like sheriff possibly even thinking of the possibility of like shape shifting and all that. It's basically like the winter scenario that I'm talking about everything I'm also thinking that the possibility of like the culprit behind like the fear being like some sort of like a mysterious creature holding or possessing like the powers to be able to like shape shift into human and all that like basically the shark even being close to like think along such lines like the serpent is his team like eventually being close to think along such lines like the scenario that I was like and it will be around that time that they will be straight away like approaching like the laboratory and questioning, trying to like question about the planet and all that, the climate of the planet. But like I'm still fretting, right now I'm leaning more towards the possibility for like planet and his team like being tight-lipped about like the situation and probably putting on that fake act as if like they have them and their experiments in like their laboratory having nothing to do with like the disappearance and like them not even allowing like the sheriff and his team to like basically uh, not such should be able to like even such like their laboratory. It's like them preventing that from happening because like then it would be like the different tribes would be having would be totally using this like power to like basically get all sorts of uh, and would be asking for like trust forums and all that and so different somehow preventing the sheriff and team from being able to like search like the laboratory and that way like the information still for temporarily for like the time being like friends and like science team keeping that hidden from like the sheriff. It's like the eventual scenario that I'm looking and my person to yeah, so like definitely my business orientation right now for like the first quarter long like coding, having called social services get like for Renet and its team to like show to like the dawn. Now for the thing it would only have to do with like Renet and team having experience during like their past experience having experiments in like their laboratory having past experience with aliens like basically alien creatures like escaping their laboratory and them having successfully captured and successfully with the absolute stealth having captured and brought back aliens uh, into back into like the laboratory. It's definitely my brain rhythm. Either being having captured or brought back aliens into their laboratory or having being forced to like take the life of the escaped aliens to prevent like from like the public finding out. It's definitely public and like the sheriff and everyone like finding out about like their secret laboratory experiments. It's definitely my personal generation. So like I'm considering it would be precisely this experience that like friends and who will be totally having would be like the precise reason for like them even totally precisely after as soon as like the mother alien had escaped like the laboratory them precisely friends and team would have definitely kept tabs and like might be like monitoring all the calls to like services because like they might be well and fully aware of like these aliens possessing like the shape shifting powers and all. So like I'm considering they might have like maybe they might have even had past experience where like the aliens would where like the in like the past one of like the aliens that might have escaped possibly having tried out like the same strategy of like shape shifting and basically like this might be the precise reason for like Brandon who might have totally foreseen such a similar scenario where like the alien might shape shift into the form of a child and so in such a scenario if someone uh, So it's in such a scenario, like the possibility of someone like phoning like social services uh, about like a child like basically showing up to their door and basically or that like basically. So this might be the precise reason for like Brenton through already having kept tabs on like all calls to like social service, and they might have kept tabs to like all sorts of like calls different into like different areas where like people would be calling to like different areas, or like they would be like also keeping tabs on calls to like the police station as well. Certainly, my anything like any calls that would be like having any of like the calls were like any individual will be talking about anything suspicious, like all those calls to like the sensitive areas would be precisely being stealthily monitored and kept tabs on by Brian Tennis. So it definitely my friend, which might have been precisely what might have been earlier shown as well. It's definitely my secondary impression. Uh, so like my secondary impression and for like Renatan is through having this experience, like dealing with like such an alien escaping like their laboratory situation and also having like that experience would be directly connected to like the thought of like the sheriff, like Sarah, that as well. It's definitely my secondary impression that I'm still thinking of like Sarah. That would be like the result of like one of like the lab experiment resulting like alien escapee from like the laboratory, escaping precisely during its escape, like it precisely Sarah, it's just running into Sarah, but during one night and usually it's straight away taking the life of Sarah. Might be how Sarah's that might have even happened. It's definitely my passenger impression that I'm sitting on it. And so like my passenger impression is definitely that like eventually in the constant future for like the sheriff to totally find out about this that basically about my passenger impression that like basically this process called Sarah that was like the result of like this precise person like Planet and his team like basically like the sheriff eventually finding how such a scenario happening in like constant future and like the sheriff totally struggling to like basically thought to prevent himself from taking out his like from not taking the life of like Brian. It's also like an eventual scenario that I'm going through testing, but like I'm going to bring like the sheriff definitely ensuring that basically he after like precisely like the sheriff would be the only thing that basically right now to capture like the mother alien like basically causing all the disappearance and trouble, like he definitely has to like team up and seek the help of like the uh, uh, Planet and his team. That would be like I'm suffering definitely initially, even though like Planet and his team would be absolutely doing their absolute best to like basically and will be not offering any sort of help to like the sheriff as well as like probably putting on that fake actors like they have nothing to do with like the sheriff and all that. But like I'm suffering eventually like things to like totally go out of hand and I'm suffering eventually eventually into very distant future like Brent and his team like having no other option but to and then being forced to like basically team up with like a sheriff and to essentially capture like that like, mother alien and I'm suffering even at that point I'm suffering like the sheriff totally uh, having this decision fixed in his mind that basically after cleaning up and after successfully capturing like another alien will have to basically deliver that punishment to buy like some sentence to like precisely Pratt and the Spain for like the death of Sarah and I'm considering like it will just be like the sheriff's daughter Sarah alone like that might have died through the result of like the uh, uh, experiments went from like the past certainly many other individuals as well might have died due to like that aliens escaping their laboratory in like the past as well. It's definitely my opinion. So like to broadly eventually help all of hold all of them accountable and responsible for all that all those deaths and basically to get them eventually arrested would be that decision, fixed decision, and that fixed mind that I'm bringing in still the sheriff would be like teaming up and working with them. It's definitely my was the range, and I'm also different that to exactly eventually happen in like the episode with like finally once like that mother alien would be finally captured and also covering the Daniel's team definitely getting that punishment and getting arrested and being sent to jail. It's like the eventual scenario and that I'm just different thing for. Okay, so like definitely from the impression right now and from like the first phone call from like the alien that like the Will's mother like basically picked up like I'm remembering that even like that whole alien noise through like the phone like I was remembering that would be definitely the alien actually speaking. It would definitely be like a message, and it wouldn't just be a message, but like a message of warning. and it would be like a total threat to not like Will's that intended not to Will's mother, but it would be intended towards like the entirety of humanity by the precise mother alien creature, respectively, my cosmic race, and like I'm delivering that threat to be most likely that basically the people that is that alien have affected, like basically that scientists as well as like will that basically the alien the alien through that message would be saying that basically those two people are still alive, but like that if like people come after like the alien to precisely capture that alien, then like the alien would be taking the life of the possessed people that it has affected would be along kind of like a threat that the alien right now would be making through that alien noise would be like that alien trying to say like to be that threat and a warning to like the entire people humanity. It's definitely my personal version because like the alien empathy not being able to like differentiate between like the other humans as well as like the not friends and state. It's like definitely my personal version. Like the alien will be seeing them everyone as like just uh, the very same humans that are after like the aliens is definitely my personal. So like even the hot owner as well, maybe the alien might have even been confused that basically since like the alien might have also felt that basically the hot owner basically tricked like basically and might have like totally trick the alien was trying to trick the alien into that way, bringing like all these people who are after like into like causing like the situation with like all these people trying to capture the alien. Yet like those people had taken like the hotel owner's life as well. So like the alien would be confused. So like still like the alien would be like not trusting. I'm considering like the number 11 alien would be like only starting to like study and learn more and more about like human techniques of brain function. It currently would be having like not much of at all an idea about like humans and the way they are and all that. The limited forever. So like the through this current phone call, like I'm remembering the alien would be sending that message of like absolute threat and warning to like the entirety of humanity is definitely my experiment. So like I'm referring like maybe I'm referring most likely to be that precise scientist from like that teacher, like not the scientist, but like I'm referring for to be precisely the teacher from Hawkins Middle School that would be like precisely most likely maybe decoding this like this message from like the aliens, especially Michael in the range. So yeah, and that's like the scenario that I was talking that teacher from like Hawkins Middle School like basically decoding this message and revealing to like the sheriff and the team. And basically at that point like the sheriff and the team like slowly realizing like the extreme gravity of like the situation that they are in right now. It's definitely also Michael in the range. I thought like definitely not the bigger impression that I'm taking on to that like basically even after all this time like basically while Steve and like Mike's stuff is in like Mike's stuff home I'm considering still I'm not delivering not like this Steve probably coming up with the idea to basically that like for them to like go out during like the night and I'm considering that would be when perfectly like definitely I'm considering such a scenario to happen and in that very night itself like I'm considering like Mike's stuff getting affected by like the alien next definitely my personal reimbursement. So yeah. And that coupled with like this like message from like the phone call message from like the alien to of like a most likely will be like a threat or like a warning to like humanity through by the alien through this like phone call to like this number like basically the sheriff finding out about like both the disappearance of like Mike's sister as well as like as well as this like message of like a warning and threat from like the alien like that message being recorded and figured out most likely by the next day or like within like the I'm just clearing out the possibility of like the that message being recorded probably within like the next day itself. Like, so like that threat, that message which would be most likely a threat coupled with like even the also recent disappearance of like my sister as well would be like basically causing like um, the day for like intensifying like the gravity of like, the situation to that extent. Especially because like I'm looking through that message, the alien might have also revealed about like the abduction of like that like scientists from that laboratory as well. So like basically I'm looking it will be through that message that I'm looking maybe like so like I'm delivering it might be through that message that I'm delivering like the sheriff probably and the team probably finding out that it's not just Bill alone that has affected, but like the scientist has gotten affected and right now this like basically the my sister as well. has gotten affected. So like it's three people who have gotten affected and who are still alive and who have their lives on the line. But like but still put on through the threat by this alien to not go after it as well. So like basically to for like the serpent team to like to go for them to like go after like the alien with that absolute by prioritizing still to the absolute explain so that like the aliens won't be able to like not even aliens will be able to like find out about like them trying to like stealthily trying to like go after and trying to like capture the alien. They them like I'm preparing like the sheriff being uh, put into such an extreme of like a difficult situation where like he will have to like prioritize stealth to that extreme while also simultaneously having to like go after and trying to capture the alien. Like the scenario that I'm talking about and other things. Also, like Michael Graham shows that like the phone call to by the alien to Wilson mother even ending with like an electric shock would be like also like due to like the alien because that alien mother being like that much extremely angry with like people coming after it to like capture it. So that like it could be like that alien trying to like intensify like the whole threat that the alien would have communicate try to communicate through that message through like by ending that conversation by the alien through an electric shock. It's definitely my 2003 show. Anyways, so like definitely my 2003 show right now with like my candidates right now is probably running into like precisely that child whom I'm still thinking about the 2003 that would be definitely like the mother actual main mother alien in like a shapeshifter form. Like I said, it's definitely my 2003 with like my candidates are running into like that child like I'm preparing then totally straight away like assuming and thinking that basically I'm considering for that my friend his friends they totally think that basically that child would be definitely might have definitely been and since it's like they had ran to that child in, on that precise location where like Will had gone missing like basically I'm considering the Mike and his friends totally assuming and thinking that basically this child might have also gotten like abducted in the past exactly like Will and might have totally been released by the first people who might have abducted this child, uh, might have released this child into the precise forest, exact forest location. Might be what like my kind of friends will be thinking is definitely my business arrangement. So like they might also think that like this child might have totally lost uh, her memories through like while after getting abducted. Would be also what like Mike and his friends would be thinking it's definitely my person to so like I'm also running initially for Mike and his friends to like decide to like basically straight away like bring this child to like the sheriff maybe that would be along the line that Mike and friends might be initially thinking and then they bring like them totally deciding to like them like taking that child along with him along with them and basically them trying to totally bond a friendship with that child and to totally because like my kind of principle only thing that totally assume that with the very same abducted people who abducted will that might have definitely abducted and release this precise child as well, mysterious child as well is definitely my principle. So like I'm trying for my kind of friends totally see this child as like their key into like finding out where Bill is like basically you know for the my kind of friends to like basically save find and save and bring when like this child would be like the key would be around the line my and his friends would be thinking so like in order to get some memories of this child back would be what like my kind of friend would be attempting to limit into remove. So like initially I'm preparing my kind of friend straight away deciding to like take the child take the surprise child to like the sheriff. Uh, I'm preparing but like I'm preparing precisely as this so like my kind of friends will be trying to like bring this child back into like towards like the road. Like at that point, still I'm preparing this child, not allowing my friends to like basically to even come in front of into towards like the road and civilization and everything like it. Just I'm preparing this child, like which should be like the mother in there, especially after like it being it like especially after like Planet and his group had totally tried to like capture this precise alien especially while this child was especially in like the home of like the hotel on of like campus preparing like this child might have like this alien uh, might have totally lost all sorts of trust connecting to like the majority of like the humans definitely might have been but still I'm preparing it's still forming a certain level of trust towards like precisely Mike and the Mike and his friends definitely might be real. So like I'm considering this like child refusing to like even go up to the road, and if this child precisely being adamant about it, wanting to like stay in that forest, exact forest, definitely might be real. So like I'm considering what Mike and his friends would be doing would be precisely they would be in order for this like child to have like a place to stay. Like I'm referring, Mike and his friend like deciding to like basically take this child to like their precise castle trials. Definitely my person payment. So like I'm referring that to be like the precise base, like the precise place where this like mother alien was like shapeshifted into like this child like would be staying from that day on. It's definitely my person place. So they permanently staying in that like it would be totally staying in that place, like Castle Briar secret home while and I'm considering that to be like the place where like I'm considering every day like Mike and his friends would be like meeting up with that precise child is also definitely my considering and I'm considering like even though like I'm considering maybe Lucas and Dustin definitely would be wanting like Mike to like basically reveal about this child to the sheriffs like basically even though they won't be able to like bring this child to like the sheriff like but still like Lucas and most likely Dustin probably telling Mike that we should like inform about this child to like the sheriff but like I'm wondering maybe for some reason like Mike taking the decision to like not reveal about this child to like the sheriff and those different like and my particular impression that like maybe it would be precisely due to like this child person showing that much of a fear while Mike and his friends will be trying to bring this child to towards the road and towards civilization. Like at that point, like I'm just bring this child will be showing that much of a fear that basically I'm just putting Mike without the maybe think along such empathetic manner that they believe like they even told the sheriff about like this child of them finding this child like they really the middle of the spot exactly where Phil had disappeared. Like basically, if the Mike would be totally thinking along the lines that if they inform the sheriff about this child, like then the sheriff would be totally using force and basically taking this child to custody and basically interrogate, questioning this child. So like I'm doing the thing Mike, specifically because of this child, so thing is scared like Mike. Maybe I'm just bring Mike totally thinking along such an empathetic manner that basically could not scare this child. And so especially due to that, I'm just bring Mike totally taking the decision, being the leader and taking the decision to like not reveal anything about them finding the child in the red forest to like to the sheriff or anybody else. And this will be all due to like neither Mike nor his like friends having like absolutely no idea as to like this child possibly definitely being like the actual mother alien and being like the precise reason behind like the disappearance of like Bill and even like I'm also bringing this night itself I'm also bringing still also like not looking very interesting right now that like right now maybe I'm also bringing for like my sister's like abduction and disappearance to not happen on this exact very night but like I'm also bringing maybe it will be like during like one of like the upcoming days that I'm also like Steve and like my sister like probably deciding to like meet up in like the middle of the night and I'm also bringing that meetup will be happening possibly during 8 o'clock and I'm also bringing them to be like meeting up in like the middle of the forty kind of like area or somewhere outside. Like I'm totally different. At that point, I'm also bringing like this child like basically is like the mother who definitely is like the mother alien like especially being able to like sense an individual with like high IQ at a distance and I'm also bringing like this precise child like stepping out of like the castle priors and basically showing up to where like Steve and Mike's sister will be and like precisely that way like causing the disappearance and abduction of like precisely like Mike's sister is also like an eventual scenario that I'm considering and I'm considering at that point for like most likely I'm considering it will like also happen while Steve without like and I'm considering maybe that abduction to happen while precisely while that right now I'm considering precisely while that whole disappearance and the abduction of like Mike's sister would be happening by this precise alien I'm considering like this precise alien will be shape shifting into its like original alien form. So precisely solely due to that I'm preferring even though we would be seeing like the disappearance and abduction of like my sister still like Steve would be like the only thing Steve as well as like Steve would be seeing would be like the alien and not like the shape shifted form of like the alien as like the child. So like even Steve's like revelation to like the sheriff eventually would be only that it was like an alien, and so like still like the sheriff not being able to like connect like the aliens to like that prophet to the alien possibly having like a shapeshifter and possibly being able to like shapeshift and all that like basically like the sheriff like not being able to figure that out, and I was wondering only in like the very distant future maybe like the sheriff would be able to like figure out about like the shape-shifting powers of this alien, that this alien can shape-shift into like a human, and that is all that definitely went on very interesting. And my birthday celebration that precisely because of this reason, like I'm preparing like while my sister would be affected, like the alien would be shifting back to its like in the earliest form, and that being like that's the reason for like I'm preparing even with like still revealing that to like the church about like what he had seen and all that. Still, Mike and his friends could still even after all that would be like even though they would be worried, like they would be still interacting casually with like that first mysterious child in like who would be in like Castle Briars, and discussing with that child about like the whole disappearance of like Mike's stuff and everything, while them still not being able to like figure out and realize that basically the first child that they are talking to, that like right in front of them and interacting with them, like is actually basically the precise alien behind like the affection and disappearance of like all these people and all that. So, like in the initial scenario that I'm just like, okay, bring another impression.